All right, Karen. So first lesson there yesterday. So we're kind of went a little bit all over the place, kind of talking about, bar chords, different types of chords, finger picking and all that. So as I said, next few are going to be a lot more focused. So I just want to get to the kind of the more substance of stuff that we did yesterday. So bar chords, we were talking about that because you've got the basic chords, right? Your A, C, D, E, G, and then out of the minors, then you've got A minor, D minor, and E minor. So before we get to the bar chords, just a couple of little sort of, I suppose, P's and Q's when it comes to chords. Is first off, always get your fingers wherever possible, right up to the fret, whatever fret they're behind. Now, not on the fret or past it, obviously, but just if you're for an E minor, for example, your middle finger should be right up here, right? Now, obviously, first finger in after it can't quite get there, but it's still get it as close as you can up there. Fingers should always be bent that way. Well, not there will be exceptions to this later on, but for now, your fingers should be bent out the way like that, not in the way like that. So that's another thing. Generally, just keep them kind of straight down. They should never be slanted like that. This last part of your finger here should be pretty much perpendicular to the fretboard. That, and whenever you're trying a difficult chord, always just have a go at it, picking it one string at a time. Just so obviously if you're kind of going like this, if you find something like that, just kind of work around it, and it's all and if you do get that, it's almost always going to be one of those three things. Your finger isn't straight enough so that you're touching another string adjacent to it. You're not quite close enough to the fret, or maybe there's just not enough pressure going down on the string. So then when you were taking it up to bar chords, we did three different shapes that you can bar going up the fretboard. Now, there are more to do than that, but the three is plenty to be getting on with anyway. So first off is A minor, right? So if you're looking for a chord, right, if you're looking for a chord like B minor, say, you would take A minor, switch it around so your index finger is free like that. So it should sound exactly the same there, and then you're going up A sharp minor, B minor, and you could take it wherever you like. What chord it is now just depends entirely on which fret it's on. So there's B minor, C minor, C sharp minor, D minor, and you can go up as high as you like. Next one we did was the E minor shape. So if you're, let's say you want an F sharp minor or a G minor, F sharp minor is pretty common. That if you only have the A minor shape to take up, then that'll put you up here on the 9th fret, which is fine, but you might not want to go up that high. So in that case, you'll need a different shape. So if we take E minor and then bring that up by one, so there's no E sharp. So as I said, A to G, they all have sharps one fret above with the exception of B and E. Okay, so E minor, F minor, F sharp minor, there it is. Now, we've only done one minor shape so far, or one major shape that you can take up, and that's E major. So, for example, when we were saying, a lot of people do F like this, or like that. Now, when the E string is open there, that's F major 7, so, which is perfectly fine as a substitute. The vast majority of the time, you can just sub in an F major 7 for an F. That'll be fine. But a real true F major chord is really just E major, taken up by one, and then you can go up to G, let's say, A, and again, just like the other ones, what it is now depends on just which fret you put it on. So a good example for a chord progression here is B minor, G major, but we're going to do it as a bar. So B minor, that's A minor, up 2 frets, G major as in E, up 3 frets, F sharp minor as in E minor, up 2 frets, and then just a regular E minor that you can do like that or like that. That's up to you. So that should be. And when it comes to bar chords, as I was saying, when you're practicing them, do whatever else you were going to do first, then just get your hand, wrecked with the bar chords. It should be, particularly this muscle here under the thumb, that should be really burning. That's what you want, because as I said, it's kind of half technique. You can have the technique right, but if there's not enough pressure going down, it's not going to happen. So that strength is needed there. But it builds up over time. If you do them consistently, you will get it, no question about it. So then, other than that, then we were just talking about a little bit about finger picking. So we did two patterns on top of the one you know now. So you've got that 6/8 style one where, well, style, it's the time signature is 6/8. So that means there's 6/8 notes or 6 quavers in every phrase. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 3, 4, 5, 6, something like that. Now, so an obvious addition to that is to just do the 4 version of that, right? Just cut out the extra 2 notes. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 2, 3, 4. So that's a nice obvious one. Simple enough, but it's effective. Another one is to go bass note, whatever that happens to be. So that's, as we were talking, that's different depending on the chord. So for a C chord, you want a C note in the bass. For a G chord, you want a G note in the bass. For a D, you want a D note in the bass. So again, which one that is will depend on the chord. So C, for example, you've got A string, A sharp, B, C. So anyway, other than that, skip one, hit the bass note first, skip one, the string adjacent to the bass note, and then skip one again. So that's... And then use a different finger for the high one. So middle finger, or so thumb, middle finger, thumb, third finger. Just because it's important when you're finger picking to kind of share the load between your finger, or your digits, I suppose. So other than that, then, when you're practicing that, it should be slow and steady. Speed is always the last thing you worry about. So, with that, if you're trying to get used to it, try not to have other things in the way distracting you. So if it's just that finger picking pattern that you want to get a hold of, just pick one chord, an easy one, so you can just put that's kind of taken care of, and then you can just focus on that. Then once you're comfortable with it, then start bringing in the other stuff as well. Okay, so that's plenty to be getting on with for this week. So I'll see you next week. Talk to you then.